finance drone. The underlying message in her words was that I had somehow deceived her or made her look foolish. It stung, but it also revealed her priorities. I swallowed the indignation in my throat and said quietly, "Don't define myself by my wealth, Tamara. Maybe you do, but I don't. And that's really all there is to it." "That's not all there is to it," she snapped. "You embarrassed me. You made us all look shallow and ignorant." I couldn't help but notice how it was less about her caring for my feelings and more about the damage to her social standing. Taking a seat on my living room couch, I steadied myself for a real conversation. "Tamara, I didn't set out to embarrass you. Honestly, I don't care what your friends think. I care about my privacy, about doing meaningful work, and about not turning my finances into a public spectacle." She took a sharp breath. "You could have given me a heads up. A single hint. I mean, why hide it? Why let us think?" She trailed off. I heard her exhale, a shaky breath that hinted at genuine hurt. For a moment, I realized that behind her anger, she might feel betrayed. "Look," I said softly, "I wasn't hiding. I just live my life differently. I'm not about to post my bank statements or brag about my philanthropic deeds on social media. That's not who I am." "Tamara." Silence hung heavy between us, broken only by her quiet sniffle. Then, in an unsteady voice, she asked, "So, what happens now?" We talked for nearly an hour that day, the anger in her voice gradually fading into confusion, then slipping into a fragile understanding. I shared snippets of my journey, how I'd stumbled into investing after college, taking a keen interest in emerging markets, reinvesting every spare penny. I told her about the philanthropic programs I'd spearheaded, the charities close to my heart, and how anonymity in those endeavors was a kind of freedom for me. She listened, interjecting occasionally with disbelief. "You own an island? You're funding water projects in Africa? Wait, you built a library in Colombia?" Each question sounded more incredulous than the last. I explained that I'd never felt the need to flaunt these actions. The results: improved lives, better education, environmental preservation, were all the reward I needed. By the end of the call, Tamara's tone was subdued. "I guess I never knew you, Lena," she said quietly. It was the closest I'd heard her come to an apology. Yet there was a residual edge to her voice, a sense that part of her remained resentful or even jealous. She thanked me for talking and ended the call with a vague promise to see me soon. I hung up, feeling a strange mix of relief and sadness. In the days that followed, our family dynamic shifted. Dad called from the cruise ship, somewhat panicked. "Tamara told us something about an article? Something about you being a millionaire?" he asked in a hushed tone, as if it were a state secret. I tried to reassure him that yes, I was financially secure and that no, I wasn't running a pyramid scheme or anything illicit. He and Mom were bewildered but supportive. "Why didn't you tell us?" Mom wanted to know. Her voice tinged with worry. I gently explained my choices, and they accepted it, perhaps not fully understanding, but at least respecting my decision to stay private. With Tamara, things were still tentative. She sent me a text now and then, no longer condescending but strangely formal. I sensed she was embarrassed or ashamed to approach me in her usual brash manner. The vanity she held so dear had taken a blow, and she didn't quite know how to navigate this new reality. Meanwhile, life went on for me in its steady rhythm: investments, philanthropy, quiet living. I did notice a flurry of social media posts from Tamara's circle, cryptic references to me as the sister with the big secret, but I didn't engage. I